Warning: concentrated sulfuric acid is highly corrosive, toxic and damaging to the environment. When handling, wear protective clothing at all times. Hello, and in today's video I will be showing you part 2 of the synthesis of glacial acetic acid tutorial. For this tutorial you will need some kind of distillation apparatus. I'm using a set that I bought on eBay for about £40. I will provide a link in the description for anyone thinking of buying the equipment I'm using. I'll be reacting approximately 3.8 grams of anhydrous sodium acetate with excess 18 molar sulfuric acid. This should react to form sodium sulfate and acetic acid, which we can distill off and collect. I suggest attempting this reaction in either a fume cupboard or outside due to the gases produced in the experiment. For this experiment you will need distillation apparatus, a glass pipette or you could use a dropping funnel, anhydrous sodium acetate, 18 molar sulfuric acid, a clamp stand, a Bunsen burner or hot plate, and a tripod if you are using a Bunsen burner. When dealing with a strong acid, it is always good to have a base at hand to neutralise any acid spills. I'm using sodium bicarbonate. Firstly, I added my anhydrous sodium acetate to a boiling flask. I then added excess sulfuric acid to my boiling flask and the reaction took place, creating a lot of fumes. After the reaction had finished, I hooked my boiling flask back up to my distillation setup and ignited my Bunsen burner. I carefully heated my mixture of sodium sulfate, acetic acid and sulfuric acid for about 10 to 20 minutes, keeping the temperature between 100 and 120 degrees C. Acetic acid has a much lower boiling point than the excess sulfuric acid, and the sodium sulfate salt allow me to distill it. The acetic acid started to evaporate in my boiling flask, creating a white mist. Any sulfuric acid that evaporated condensed on the side of my boiling flask. After a while, my first drips of glacial acetic acid were seen. I continued heating my mixture until I was sure that no more acetic acid was left in my boiling flask. I only got a yield of around 2 ml, but this was mostly due to the small amount of sodium acetate I used to start with. And that's how you make glacial acetic acid.